What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology Retold action in the bottom side of the map, spawning as the blue Poseidon. Today is Poseidon Day. If you happen to be watching this on YouTube, well, you're going to go have to find the live stream, which says ladder only Poseidon, and you can check it out. But we are, we're going to be watching some Keto here today, playing the Poseidon god. His opponent today in the red color playing as Ra. His name is Trollpack. Trollpack is Crackhack, who is a fairly, I would say, kind of new to the top of the ladder player. He's a player that I didn't really see a whole lot of until maybe like a month ago. Maybe he's been around and I just didn't quite know what name he was playing on or anything like that. But he has recently risen up the ranks and he is now playing a lot of the high level players and showing everyone that he means business. I could be wrong on all that. Maybe he's been around forever and I've just completely missed it. But I know he's been playing for a while, but I just haven't seen him play these top level games. Wait, is Trollpack not Crackhack? I thought this was Crackhack. Hang on. Let's just do some quick investigation here. We got Crackhack, who's an 1881 Norwegian, and Trollpack is an 1842 Chilean. However, they both have got an average APM of not the same. They're different people. Okay, Trollpack is someone completely different, but they're both the same. They're both the same. We're going to leave them as they're both the same. Crackhack, Trollpack, it just makes sense that they're the same. We'll just go with it. We'll just go with it, okay? Anyways, we got Ra at the top here. And it's a Poseidon versus Ra and Marsh. Over on this side, we have the tail feathers of heaven. Infantry hits melee attack with divine damage now, which is always nice. Up on the top side here, we've got ourselves Pygmalion's statue, which is plus 40% of the base there. Over here we have the Bridle of Pegasus, which is going to be a Pegasus getting spawned. Over on the bottom side, there is the Eye of Ornlu, making a Hibiscus Axeman and Samurai, doing all the good stuff. Over on the side, there is the Bow of Artemis, making the ranged units cheaper. Now, if I know Keto, and I think I know Keto is going to play for a town center here. He's going Hermes pretty slow. This is a 318 advance time. He doesn't have pickaxe though, which is maybe a little bit suboptimal. Generally, if you go for these later advances, you want to grab that pickaxe, especially if you're going to drop lure here. However, Keto's town center is obnoxiously bad. There's nothing on this. This is a barren settlement. And you really don't want to be going for that forward town center either. On top of this, we're seeing Trollpack go for what I would probably consider to be somewhat meta here, which is 2 or 3 monument Bast for Ra against Poseidon. Reason being is Sphinx Spearmen really break up for the Poseidon game plan. If the Poseidon wants to go to TC, they're going to be getting raided really heavily without real much recourse to the multiple amounts of Sphinx hitting them, and the Spearmen also getting in there to help take out the heroes, forces the Poseidon player to actually have to go into Centaur, which a lot of people are scared of doing, because if you misposition the Centaur, the Sphinx can take them out. Eclipse gets dropped, Cease Flag comes in. There's not really any problems for the Centaur during the Eclipse, but you are very much scared of those Sphinx. As we do see double stables here. So Keto not going for the Townsend. It makes sense. This Townsend is garbage. So we'll see what he's actually going to be able to come up with here. But this is, generally speaking, quite a difficult situation to be in as the Poseidon in this specific instance. So if maybe Keto had gone for some early or read this, basically scouted this and gone for some earlier favor and started massing up Centaur, he would be able to defend any of these raids and then play for the mid game. But at this point now, he's going to have to get very lucky, so to speak, with with the heroes to snipe off some of these Sphinx, as the Sphinx will basically be playing. I'm surprised he goes for that hunt. That's really, really risky versus Poseidon. But you're basically playing defense here with the Sphinx until you get Haruko Sphinx. And then once you get that, you're able to start putting the pressure on. The Centaur can't leave their base anymore until they get their upgrade. And even if they have it, I think they're still slower than the Haruko. No, they're faster? What's faster? Sphinx or Speedy Centaur, Spirited Charge Centaur, Poseidon Spirited Charge Centaur. I think Poseidon Spirited Charge Centaur are faster, right? Anyways. Another priest popping out over here. Can actually start healing up the villagers and things like that. So what is going on with all these? There's just so many blue dots just hanging around the base of Troll Pack here as there's like random pigs and things. Getting these pigs to safety is going to be really tough. Maybe bringing them over into this corner. Maybe you can sneak them out here. I don't know. As we actually got a town center now coming up. This is very, very spicy here. Troll Pack. This is what I talk about. This is a mistake here from Troll Pack, where he's going to be dropping. If Keto micros this, he's going to be dropping this Sphinx because he didn't wait for Haruko Sphinx. You could leave the Sphinx in a kind of safe-ish, risky place over onto the side, ready to pounce once Haruko Sphinx comes in. But one Sphinx, well, this should go down, and then he pulls off it because the Sphinx in the main base is coming in and is causing some problems, and that actually means the Sphinx gets back to safety here, especially with Haruko Sphinx coming in. So a little bit of luck here for Troll Pack. In fact, he can turn around and fight this with the priests healing that one up. So Troll Pack gets out of here without losing a single Sphinx, and this has to be the general idea here, which is keep your Sphinx alive. We're going for somewhere in the okay. Don't lose your Sphinx is the name of the game here. So the idea here of playing a 1 town center versus 2 town center, and even more so a delayed 2nd town center with no gold on it, is we're looking to take complete map control against the Poseidon. The Poseidon player is going to get strangled here. And the only way to really ensure that the Poseidon player does end up getting strangled is to get a death ball together. So it doesn't actually matter if Keto gets in front on villager count by 20 plus villagers if there is a 175 population army there, because the army is going to be so absurdly big that there's just never going to be a time that Keto can push out of his base and get onto the second gold mine. So we're just in this really, really bizarre situation. So it's not bizarre. This is a standard. You've seen this situation all the time. But yeah, this is just Troll Pack needs to build a death ball. Keto needs to somehow get to a gold mine. And whoever manages to do their job the best will find themselves a win here. And the obelisks are now starting to come out. These Sphinx are, for some reason, searching around the bottom of the map. These sorts of raids here from Keto are really, really risky because the obelisks spot them and the Sphinx are out. And the Sphinx here, am I right on this? Yeah, they move at 5.8 speed. So Spirited Charge here will actually allow Keto some play here with these units once he gets that Spirited Charge in. But before then, the advantage is definitely on the side of the Sphinx user, as Troll Pack popping around onto this side, spots the Centaur, spots the Cav. We'll dive in onto this one as the Sphinx are really not trying to shut this down. Like, here's the thing. Any amount of damage here is good. We don't have to kill villagers. Killing off army is just as valuable as killing off villagers in this specific situation for Troll Pack. If there was a gold mine, say, here, all of a sudden I'm saying, Keto's got this game. It's a really, really nice talent and a terrible strategic decisions from Troll Pack. But this is the thing. It's just very, very difficult to secure second gold mine for Keto, as the Spearman coming in, the Sphinx searching, trying to find something, but they just have not managed to hit anything at the moment. As the Pegasus continues to scout around, these Spearmen have to get out of here. Throwing those away isn't going to be ideal. He's actually rushing up to Sobek here, which I think is really surprising. This gives Keto a lot of opportunity here. Because now Keto can actually, because there's so many resources being spent on the Heroic Age, Keto can actually come over here, wall this off, get to the Heroic Age, get himself his next hero in, and yeah, things are going to be really, really wacky here for Troll Pack. He will have access to Petsukos. He will have access to Camel Rider, but yeah, this sort of a tech here is not something I would even consider as an option in this specific situation. But we'll see if Trollpack is going to be able to find some value. I don't think he's going to get the gold staff now because he's just spent so many resources on a Heroic Age. But what he can still do is maybe get some villager picks with a Locust, try and find the value out of this Heroic Age God Power to equalize and play from there. High quality units in the Camel Rider to try and deal with those Hippias a little bit easier, though they are very high cost and you probably still want to be building Spearmen anyway. Crag Hack is Troll Pack. Ha! I was right. Never ever trust Twitch chat. Never ever trust Twitch chat. Lol. I think he's trolling me. That's fine. I was kind of hoping he was. Everyone's Pac-Man. There's only one Pac-Man. It's Crag Hack, right? Crag Hack, Troll Pack. All makes sense. Keto pulling back into the main base right now. He's got himself his walls coming up over here. And this is going to be really, really nice for him if he can get himself up a fortress over there. And he does have a ceasefire, so he can kind of half complete and be okay. But the town center now under attack. This is a really, really weird attack here from Troll Pack, as Keto should be able to defend this with what he's got at the moment. He's got a lot of heroes, and the army will have to pull back. But nice little bit of damage there from Troll Pack onto this position, as the town center is now down to half HP. Camel Riders to come through. Keto making his way up to the gold mine now. And he actually leaves the home gold mine here with 800 gold as well. I love that play. Though this wall here is not finished. He definitely needs to... Does he see that? He sees the trees thinking there's a forest there. There's not. Definitely need to get that wall up, because if the Sphinx sneak through or something like that, life's going to be tough. On top of that, the fortress probably should be placed above the gold mine, because Petsukos can hit this position and it can be really, really tough to defend that. Or deal with that, I should say. The siege work's coming up over onto this position, and we'll sit back, wait and watch where to go next. It's the Sphinx, and the Sphinx are coming in. Luckily, the villagers have got a little bit of an escape route here into the fortress. Over onto this side, however, the army getting caught out and getting hit on the villager line at the same time. That's the sort of damage here that Troll Pack needs to get done. And Keto not paying attention to this, obviously worried about his army there. Does manage to pull the villagers back, but loses 2 or 3 there, as the army got to charge in onto this position now. Underneath the fortress, tower, and town center, Troll Pack deciding to go in there as the bronze gets dropped down. Eclipse gets clicked and ceasefire to come in, as Troll Pack does manage to get all those god powers of Keto out in one foul swoop. The next move here is to make use of the rest of that Eclipse somehow, whether that be to send those Harco Sphinx into this back wood line. He doesn't really know that that's there. Over onto this side, hit the main town center, sneak around here and break through the wall, get the Petsukos over here. He's got to get more damage done. Because Keto at the moment, the real nasty move for Keto here would be to attempt to get to the Mythic Age. One idea here, as he's running out of food, he does have a little bit of a couple of chickens in the back here, but would be to drop another lure down in his main base, get a couple more chickens in, get him the food he needs to get to the next age, and go from there. I mean, alternatively, he can start thinking about getting all of his upgrades, getting his farms down, and playing for the heroic age, which is a little bit more tricky because you don't have that Polyphemus or fourth age hero to deal with all those myth units. Once you get to the fourth age as Greek, that's when the myth units stop having their effectiveness. So Troll Pack is 100% on some sort of a timer here. He's got 112 favor in the bank. So realistically, he could have out a hell of a lot more myth unit here. But another completely valid option here would be to drop a whole bunch of farms and then just rain like 3 or 4 times in a row to equalize on the economy, so to speak. There's the Harco Sphinx coming through. Siege Tower going to knock down one of these watchtowers, but a whole bunch of militia pop out. As Trollback manages to keep his heavy camel rider in one piece. And the Siege Tower is going to keep coming in. I like this move from Trollpack because he knows he needs to get some serious damage done here. Breaking through and killing this. Okay, that's one usage of Locust that I'm not sure about. We get a couple of villages on the back here, though. There's Trollpack charging in. There is one tower, one town center, 3 siege towers to break through this, though, as the army colliding in onto this position. A little bit of healing to come in as the priests do need to turn around and actually target down the Hydra. But Kraghack's push here does seem to be failing as the Greek army is looking to be far too effective. At the moment, Keto could sack this town center, just enjoy the militia that pop out of it, and then rebuild it. There's no need to even repair at the moment, though you don't want to place it down while the siege tower right next door, because that's immediately just loss of resources if they turn in and shoot, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Smack, dead. Oh, not a dead town center. A little bit lucky there from Keto, but he gets that town center back up, gets a huge amount of militia, and he is good to go moving forward here. He's up 20 villages. The death ball is being dealt with. And now what? What can you do now as the Ra? Well, I think the way to keep yourself afloat here is using the rain, using the farms on, using the favor on rains. Or if you can get to the Mythic Age and make mummies, they are inherent value if you can just get get kills with them. Because obviously they're going to give you a couple of minions, which for every unit you kill off. So that's going to be a big help there if you can get to the mummies. But I think the only real way forward here is to actually get those farms down. But the problem for Trollpack at the moment is he's got himself the map control, which means he's got all the hunt, which means he doesn't want to drop farms anyways. The first farm that you drop, the first rain you use, basically pays for the farms, and that's it. And then the next rain, that's where you get the extra 70-ish food per farm that you've got down. And then the next rain gives you an extra 70-ish food per farm. And so on and so forth. As the army here for Trollpack colliding in onto this position for the time being. The Camel Riders are doing some work, but those militias are also incredibly scary here. Does Trollpack have enough to break through this position? I think it's very hard to tell. These militia are looking surprisingly strong here. And Keto does manage to hold. Obviously the Centaur as well doing a lot of damage with that DPS, that special ability. That volley? Is it called a volley? Yeah, with that volley special attack. As Trollpack continuing to spam in here. A really nice, I wouldn't say it's a tech switch. He's been spamming out the spam, and big mistake from Trollpack. This is something you gotta really be aware of. The Centaur, when the rain comes down, it's like a little circle of damage. If you pull back like little bit, just a tiny little bit, then the damage will stop, and then you can engage again without losing all your spearmen on that spot. And he probably would have been able to continue fighting there. But the fortress on the middle has been denied, and Trollpack does have some play here. He has some real play here. So, for example, this gold mine on the back will be expiring. This gold mine also will be expiring. All Troll Pack needs to do here is get rid of his favor. And I was saying Reigns before, but this game has flipped into a position where if Troll Pack just builds another really strong myth unit sort of comp, then maybe, just maybe, Keto is not going to be able to beat that even with a potential Polyphemus. Because you're going to snipe that down with the Chariot Archers and things like that. I have to micro really well, but... This is the Centaur coming through. Getting little bits of damage done here. Another temple coming up on the back is Keto. I'm not exactly sure what he's saving up for favor-wise. I think he just wants pure Centaur here, which does actually make a lot of sense. Mythic Age Centaur with Sylvan Lore is an amazing counter to the Spearman. But what counters the Centaur? Petsukos. Petsukos counter that. So an extra 2 temples, pump out all of the Petsukos, and you're good to go. But I don't think Troll Pack is reading this scenario or this situation all too well. He is looking to get the gold salve on this third gold mine. This Keto has 0 gold income for the time being. Lots and lots of gold in the bank, though. Enough to actually get himself up to full iron, I think, with Forge of Olympus. Maybe. He can sell food, I guess, if he needs to. There's also angles for that Mythic Age lure. Never seen it before. And there's already farms, so it doesn't really matter. What he's got? He's got 35 farms. Yeah, we don't need to click that lure button. Now a couple of Hydra to come through. Those are Mythic Age Hydra as well. Bacchanalia as well on the way. Up to the top here, just trying to clean up a couple of obelisks to limit the vision a little bit. Chariot Archers also aren't awful versus the Centaur, because they do win the range difference, so they can get a couple of pot shots off before pulling back. So now, Hippias raids starting to come through. Villagers will dive into that town center. We are in this really weird spot where it's 5.5k versus 5.5k. Keto, on the other hand, here, he's now going to be grabbing himself full bronze armor, bronze shields. I think he's got enough for full iron, so he does need to wait for that, for those techs to come through, as the 20-second bronze weapons feels like an eternity here. Meanwhile, 28 seconds over here for Troll Pack, because he's got the monument getting empowered, where normally it will be 40 seconds. And Polyphemus as well, queued up, as Keto about to start moving forward. He's got a big, fat army. That being said, if Troll Pack can just wait for his own Mythic Age, I imagine Keto's just going to walk forward and put a fortress down. So the timing is just not quite there for Troll Pack. He's taking the fight yet again, standing in the rain of fire, the rain of arrows there, as the Spearmen are all nearly down to 0 HP. One Hydra goes down as the Locust gets dropped. The Centaur dodging out onto that one. Is there enough stuff here for Keto? Is the big question. And I think the answer for the time being, I mean, it's so close. The Chariot Archers will have to start scooting backwards, and it is going to be a win there for Keto, as Troll Pack spamming out the Spearmen. The villagers now making their way over onto the fortress, and Keto is going to be securing a gold mine. But yeah, Son of Osiris is going to be a real big help here if Troll Pack can use it well. As the Centaur will make their way back, make sure there's no raids coming down onto that bottom side. And in securing this gold mine, Keto actually secures 2 gold mines and another fortress to come down, because Keto can now start actually making himself a Tyroi. Those Chariot Archers get absolutely dominated by the Tyroi in the Mythic Age, especially with the Forge of Olympus, Olympian weapons, Tyroi. Is the Spearman going to start poking away at the villagers over onto this side? Chariot Archer's going to pull back for now. We are now starting to see the mummies for Troll Pack, as he finally goes, all right, time to actually spend some favor. Got to be so careful with this. This Son of Osiris is the only win condition right now for Troll Pack. the only win condition, which is what I mean by that is get yourself out the mummies, maybe not all of them, enough for an extra eclipse here. And then you can go, there's going to be a ceasefire though, so you can't even go for that. But maybe just mummy plus Son of Osiris and try and break through all of this nonsense here. But there's no forward Migdol up. Walls coming up over onto this side. It's Troll Pack. Wandering forward here. Got to be so careful with... Oh, ceasefire coming down as the villagers are going to make their way for the town center. No villagers in the middle here to deny this. How fast does this go up, though? Is it quick enough? Not really. It's going to have another 10 seconds. I think that the units are going to get demolished here. And Keto's going to have to take a fight he doesn't really want to take. As the final mummies are starting to come through. Though that being said, Trollpack needs to position this better than he is. The army coming straight on top of this. As the Son of Osiris is going to get caught out. And that Son of Osiris... Both of them is helping Son of Osiris get to safety as the cavalry charge in on top of it. But the town center is now up. The big question is, will these mummy get enough value here with all of the minions to actually break through this? And it's looking like the answer is a resounding yes. The siege tower coming in, the first rain to come through now for Troll Pack. As the town center will now start getting beaten down, but the Son of Osiris is taken out by the town center after all is said and done. And Keto, he's still got play in this game because he's still got gold. He's still got 100 villages. Even though he loses his army here, he gets to continue along. Mummy's coming over onto this side, getting so many. I need to know, how many of these minions does he have? He's got 12 minions out at the moment. One siege tower falls. It looks like the town center here may simply be enough. It's going to be somewhat close. One more attack. 22. It does manage to take that one down as the militia will pop out over onto this spot. And Troll Pack, for the first time in this game, takes a score lead. All of this comes from the monuments, from building those monuments early on. And all the value is gotten out of these mummies. There's the army charging forward here. We do have the Polyphemus and the Theseus. No micro from the mummies as the Polyphemus comes. Oh, he misses the other two with the area of effect. Good pullback at the last moment there from Troll Pack. But Troll Pack still needs some units in here. He's at 205 or 235 pop. But he needs those spearmen desperately as now Mummy Vizier does come through. And that's going to be a really, really big HP boost. But this Polyphemus, he don't care about your mummies. He's like, and everything else. He's walking through it all. He's got 1,000 HP of just get out of here mummies. But great control from Trollback to keep the majority of those alive. I wouldn't mind seeing a fourth monument coming through sometime soon, but a third rain? A third rain comes down. Trollback continuing to fight this sort of down population. Does he have his armory upgrades in? He's now getting himself iron armor. So a little bit on the wild side as Polyphemus charging in here, trying to get onto the mummies. And he does hit once. He hits twice. One mummy down. The other mummy also going down to the Atalanta there, and the big power for Trollpack after losing the Son of Osiris and those mummies. Now down the toilet. But what else does he have? He's got himself the super fast Desert Rider Camel Riders, as well as Dark Waters. Does he have that tech? Yes, he does. So he can go for raids. Keto here will run out of gold on this, but he's going to have a trade route, and he's got the Plenty Vault. So I don't think there's ever a world tier where there's a gold starve angle. Basically, you have to play for getting to max population and going from there. Villagers snipe down those Hippias over here as the Camel Riders are going to search in maybe to the main base. There's an opening here to hit this as a Locust getting dropped down onto the villagers. Good reaction there from Keto as he runs straight over that one. These do have themselves 94 HP with the survival equipment technology in. As now we've got the Hypaspis to come through. And this is where I think we're going to be staying nighty-night to Troll Pack, as his economy has just not been able to keep up with the unit quality of Keto in this one. He had the angle for this win, but losing that Son of Osiris on the town center, that hurt. That hurt. He won one fight with the Son of Osiris, and sometimes you can win upwards of like 3 or 4 fights, allowing you to get to full iron, basically, which is what your aim is. He's just not able to get there. He's still pumping units out, and he's going for raids in the main base as a random fortress to come down here in an attempt to sort of defend all the farms that are over here. But Keto, he's actually struggling a little bit for resources. I don't think it really matters. And Trollback does say GG, even though we're kind of in an equal spot here military population-wise. Maybe the game can continue along, but it doesn't feel that way. There's no real trade route started for Trollpack either. There's still gold mines on the map for him to just grab. But in the end here, what a wild ride of decision-making and nonsense. I do think that if Trollpack stayed Age 1 and just pumped units, made sure that this wall never came out, and maybe even moved villagers forward to lock this gold mine off from getting grabbed, while also maybe even walking in after that and walling off this position, then I don't think Keto's got a whole lot of play with his second town center here. I think the Troll Pack idea with the Sphinx was very, very potent here, but a little bit of interesting decision making did lead into an incredibly exciting game. I think after all is said and done, it all just came down to this one fight here. I think after the Polyphemus saved the Son of Osiris, so to speak, the Son of Osiris could have dove into the siege tower, taken off the aggro of the town center, and kept it in the back of the army for damage for many, many more times to come. But a well-played game from Keto. If you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you hit the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.